Police Department. Amen. So to Mr. Mayor, as well as our couple of mayors, I see two here in terms of at the table, want to recognize them. Our city manager, we want to recognize him. Also, our city council, my alderman is First Alderman Evans, amen. So he helps to keep me straight. And then my chief, McLeod, is somewhere to my right. I saw him out there. So to all of you, greetings. May we pray. Our Father and our God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, as we gather today to listen and to hear our Mayor, Ashley Harris's State of the City address, we remember your King Solomon writing in Proverbs 29:18, where there is no vision, the people run wild. And another translation even says the people perish. Today, Heavenly Father, I ask you to give Mayor Harris and his team more than a vision, rather a revision, to create a new future for our beloved Rock Island, to revisit and remember when Rock Island was Queen Jewel of the Quad Cities and not just a moved riverboat that was called the Jewel of the Quad Cities. Today, Heavenly Father, let Mayor Harris's winged words put Rock Island on a new trajectory that will transform our once great city, that he and his team, under his dynamic and bold leadership, will make Rock Island a centripetal city, CENTRIPETAL, in the name of Jesus, who dreams great dreams, we pray. Let everybody say, amen. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Community Engagement Manager Sarah Hayden. Thank you for coming. It's so nice to see such a full room, and I think having to add tables is a good problem to have. So just shows the love we have for our city and Mayor Ashley Harris. First, I'd like to introduce local advocate Akeem Watson.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to start off by saying, as much as I don't know Mayor Harris, but I believe and I have faith in the mayor intentions and what he has planned for Rock Island to build a better community and a safer playground for our children, our kids, our family, and our friends. What he has, I'm sorry, I lost my crib last year and found myself homeless, indeed, and it led me to a better place in life. It led me to a greater opportunity because I'm having my first kid, and my beautiful partner, Lexus, we're expecting soon, and I would like to be a part of Rock Island's great, tremendous team of helping out in our environment. The mayor's given me an opportunity to show my appreciation, and I want to be able to raise my family, and I have in all his plans and his intentions. And I just want to say I have faith in that. I had a lot more to say, but I'm kind of nervous and whatnot, but the mayor he's shown me appreciation without even knowing me and without me even knowing him. And I'm very honored to have this opportunity because I've been stranded and I've been up and down and I've been in and out, and if I didn't go through what I went through in Rock Island, I probably wouldn't even be up here standing at this podium saying what I'm saying. And I just want to thank the mayor for that, and I appreciate you, and I would like to be a part of the team of helping out in our environment. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce Rashida Jameson. Rashida Jameson is a certified financial educator, author, speaker, and founder of J&M Empire LLC. She is also a trusted community voice known for her people-first approach to financial empowerment and community growth. Through her strategic growth firm, she helps leaders, families, and organizations move from reactive survival to intentional stability. Grounded in the belief that growth happens when systems support vision, Rashida specializes in building financial and operational infrastructures that prevent burnout and sustain long-term success. Please welcome Rashida Jameson.
Excuse me, everyone. We're gonna come on up, ma'am. Rashida's next.
A little mix-up, but that's okay. I'm Deb Kunze. I am the Executive Director at Hauberg Estate. And in case you haven't noticed, we're having people come up that do not know Ashley. I do not know him. But I have been through 4 mayors with Hauberg. One who absolutely adores Hauberg, which is Mark. Second one, not so much. Third one, Mike Tomes was very supportive of when we first took over. And now we have Ashley. Hauberg is a community place. I know he's going to be talking a lot about community today, and Hauberg is one of those places where all the community comes, they absolutely love it, and we're hoping to, I'm sure we will continue that, and I'm hoping that Ashley will support us in that effort. So if you get a chance to, I'm gonna do a shameless plug for Hauberg. If you get a chance to come out on Fridays or any other time, please do. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah, for that introduction. I don't know where she ran off to, but thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. As Sarah mentioned, my name is Rashida Jameson, speaker, financial educator, growth strategist, mother, wife, a lot of things. I wear a lot of titles. The one that holds the most weight on why I'm here today is as a proud Rock Island resident. For the first 25 years, or the last 25 years, let me say that, I have raised my family here. I've raised my children. I met my husband. I've worked here. I have created a legacy, and this foundation of Rock Island is what helped me build that right here in Rock Island. This city didn't just watch me grow. This city raised me, and that matters. Because for that, I see a lot of people in this room that has become my family, because we all share a similar love for this city and for the growth of this city. For that, I feel I have a deep responsibility to help the growth of this city. As long and as wide as the Mississippi River, and I'll support anybody that has that exact same love for the city. Today, I have the honor of introducing a leader I have grown to know, not through proximity, but through the purpose, the action, and the work. When I first encountered Ashley, it was actually at a community event. And that distinction matters because what stood out immediately to me about him, it was not, of course, his infectious laugh, but what it was is his execution. His execution of the room on how he ensured that he made an impact on every single person he came in contact with. See, that for me, that meant everything. Because when somebody is taken from an event that's meant to recognize others, and you take the time to make sure that every single person in that room that you come in contact with feels seen and feel heard, that matters. Whenever Mayor Harris reached out to me professionally, the conversation was always intentional, and if his name appeared on my phone, I knew the focus was impact and growth. I also knew I had to clear my calendar because he was going to take up a lot of my time, so I always knew I had to make some changes. But no matter if he was calling about strengthening the community conference, the Caring Conference, or if it was advancing broader initiatives of things he was already involved in the city, which is how we connected, the question always remained the same when he picked up the phone and called me. How do we do this the right way? And how do we make sure that it leaves an impact? See, I don't know about you, but alignment like that matters in my life on who I surround myself with. And that is one of the key things that I've grown to love about Ashley, is that he ensures that that type of impact is left between anybody that he meets. See, I'm a firm believer that iron sharpens iron. And for that, our partnership has been built on a shared commitment to excellence and to strength, not just for the city we both love, but also for the people that reside in it. See, if I come into your life, I am a firm believer that I should leave it better than I found it. Don't you agree? Absolutely. And that is what value became the foundation of how we always connected. It was clear one time when he made one phone call to me, and that one phone call, he said, "This is the one. This is the one that I really had to clear my schedule for." He says, and I quote, "My city is sick, and I feel like I have to doctor on it. I can't see it fail, and I have to be the change that I want to see, Rashida." In that moment, I knew what he was saying before he ever even said it. That is when Ashley made the decision he was going to run for mayor. The decision for Ashley to run for mayor, it was never about the position. It was never about the title. It was more about taking responsibility, which is something a lot of people don't do, because they'll say and they'll point out the things that need to change, but how many people are willing to do the work? A famous author named George Clason once said, "Our acts can be no wiser than our thoughts, and our thinking can be no wiser than our understanding." And I want you to sit with that for a second. See, having an understanding for all people in all situations, not just the reality you live in, is how a mayor should show up for its people. That identifying problems is not enough. You should be willing to own the solution, step into the work, and do what it takes to make the change if you say that this is what you want to do. You also have to be able to be held accountable, not just for the praises, but also for the failures. Mayor Harris, something that I've learned, he believes government should work for the people, not the other way around. His leadership does not lead for optics or applause. You can see that. But it does lead for structural change. So this afternoon, as we discuss the state of our city, this moment requires honesty about where we are. It's also about discipline about where we're going. It requires leadership willing to do the hard work, often unseen, from financial systems, infrastructure change, homelessness, transparency. Mayor Harris, something I've learned, he builds coalitions. He trusts experts. And he understands that sustainable progress only happens when the right people are empowered to do the right work. This is the definition of people first. And this is the type of mayor Rock Island has. So I'm going to ask at this time that you all please stand, as it is my honor to introduce the mayor of Rock Island, Mayor Ashley Harris.
hear me? Can everyone hear me? Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ashley Harris. As the mayor of Rock Island, I want to thank you for joining me today for the 2026 State of the City Address. Before we get started, I want to pause for a minute and thank a few people. I would like to thank former Mayor Mark Schwiebert, former Mayor Michael Tomes, former Mayor Dennis Pauley, I haven't seen him, State Rep Greg Johnson, Rock Island County Board Chairman Richard K.S. Brunk, we got the K.S. in there, Milan Mayor Bruce Stinkle, Bettendorf Mayor Pro Tem Scott Newman, representing Senator Tammy Duckworth's office is Philip Foster, Bettendorf City Administrator Decker Plain, Bettendorf City Administrator Jeff Reeder, Superintendent Dr. Sharon Williams, Rock Island County NAACP President Bonnie Ballard, School Board President Jason Rossler, School Board Vice President Isabel Pena, Augustana College President Andrea Talentino, Downtown Rock Island Alliance Executive Director Jack Cullen, from the Development Association of Rock Island, Liz Tallman and Stacy McIntosh. And I would also like to take this time to recognize Mike Bartels, the mayor of Cove Valley as well. The city council members, all 7 wards are in attendance, all 6 wards are in attendance, and I greatly appreciate that. First ward, we have Glenn Evans. Second ward, we have Randy Hurt. Third ward, we have Miss Linda Barnes. Fourth ward, she's not here right now. She had another engagement, Jenny Swanson. Fifth ward, Mark Poulos, Dylan Parker, excuse me, Dylan. Sixth ward, Mark Poulos, and seventh ward, Bill Healy. Now, of course, none of this work could be done without our department directors. Can the directors please stand and receive a round of applause? Are you guys in the building? Thank you. Thank you. So, I would also like to thank, the folks for setting up this room and taking such good care of us. I want to thank Akeem, Deb, and Rashida for the gracious introduction for me. I want to thank them for that. I also want to thank, Bally's Casino for hosting us here. They're treating us real good. And if my memory serves me correctly, this is the best time Bally's has ever treated me. They've never treated me this good on the blackjack tables, I tell you that. I tell you that. So this is one time that in a casino, everybody sitting at the table is going to be a winner. And that is a portion of what commitment to community is. I see my family here, and I want to tell them that I appreciate. I see my mom, my grandma, my kids. I want to thank them for being here and loving me and supporting me. And with them sitting right there in front of me, it may appear as if I'm talking directly to them. But just know that I'm talking to them, and I'm also talking to the whole community, because I'm speaking the same words of love. I'm speaking the same words of commitment. So don't be fooled. It may appear as if I'm talking to my family with the words that I use, but just know this is for you, Rock Island. And as far as I'm concerned, this is for you, Quad Cities. Okay, so, we were doing a few things to where we were trying to, get more volunteers for things and, get more people, involved. And, yesterday, a council member came into the office and he said, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Are you going to the ribbon cutting? And I said, what ribbon cutting? We got this tomorrow. And he said, yeah, you know, we're having a ribbon cutting. We're unveiling 4 new porta potties in the downtown area. And we're going to, you know, pull out some toilet tissue and we're going to cut the ribbon. So I said, you know, I get to laughing and everything. So then I said, okay, well then we're all going to have to sign it, right? And then to think all the people that would sign up to wipe their ass with it. I just thought that was, you know, something. You know, that is not on our unhoused population. That's on the council members right there. That's on the council members. That's for you. That's for you right there, council, and myself included. You know, those are my guys right there. So I just didn't want to offend anybody by that, but I did want to, you know, drop a little piece of humor in this, and I appreciate you guys accepting so gracefully. Thank you for that. So, you know, typically for State of the Union addresses, you know, people get up here and they look at a slideshow, highlight reels. Well, Rock Island, I owe you more than a highlight reel. I owe you play-by-play, day in and day out. That is commitment to community. Day in and day out. There's no pretty picture that I can paint with slides. I can give recognition, and recognition is surely due for all of our staff, all of our supporters, all of our public servants in here. It's due. However, you know, this is a time for the state of the city, a time for our truth, a time to see exactly where we are and what we're going to do moving forward. And I want to share a couple things with you. It's a lot of things that are going on very well here in Rock Island, and I want to highlight a few of those things. You know, this is the theme today, commitment to community. And before I say anything else, I want to say this plainly and from the bottom of my heart. I love Rock Island. I love my family. I hope you enjoy. I have enjoyed knowing about the impressive history from Rock Island. Number of things over the years. I can't name them all, but you know, we have a historical military base here, the Arsenal. This is home to the infamous John Looney. You know, this is a place to where, you know, Abraham Lincoln, you know, fought for that, you know, famous bridge right here in this area here. History is rich here in Rock Island, very rich. This is the site of our first NFL game, you know, and you know, that's a big deal. And the history and over the years, the accomplishments, they go on and on and on and on and on. But with us knowing our history, we know where we've been. And leading up to where we are right now, like I said, you know, I love the people here. I love Rock Island's complexity. I love its contradictions, and I love its edge. I love its generosity. And I'm deeply honored, truly honored, to serve as your mayor. So when factories closed and the economy shifted, unemployment rose, poverty increased, opportunity narrowed, and people left. Some people left to find work elsewhere. Some left to keep from poverty. Some left, you know, let's face it, to avoid living alongside people that look like me. We have lost over 16,000 residents since 1960. By the time I was born in the 80s, Rock Island was a city in decline and lost over 7,000 residents in the first decade of my life alone. What remained was aging infrastructure, shrinking resources, and a community made up of people who were too poor to leave, too stubborn to quit, or too loyal to abandon this place. And Rock Island is a city of people who stayed. And people who stayed, they learned something important. They learned commitment. Now, here's the thing about history. Like this, it's not something we inherit to admire. It's something we inherit to steward. We don't get to live off the past or blame the past. We're responsible for what we do with it. So the question for us today isn't just where we have been. It's what are we doing right now with what we've been given. And that brings me to the present. I want to first talk about what's working, because there's a lot of things, like I said, working here in Rock Island. The commitment didn't disappear when industry did. It adapted. And when we look honestly at Rock Island today, we see something real. We see resilience producing strength. We're anchored here by Augustana College, which continues to educate students, employ residents, and contribute intellectually and economically to this city. And we're especially excited that Augustana has purchased the Trinity School of Nursing, expanding Rock Island's capacity to train healthcare professionals and strengthening our role in the future of healthcare. I'm very excited to explore ways to draw Augustana deeper into the fabrics of our broader community, and I believe Augustana's leadership shares the same goal. We have the Rock Island Milan School District, serving families across the city every day. The latest data shows a 3% increase in graduation rates over the last 2 years, decreased graduation rate gap for African Americans and Hispanic students, 8% decrease in chronic absenteeism, 19% reduction in out-of-school suspension over 2 years, and 5 schools improved their accountability rating in 2025 Illinois State Report Card. We have our Catholic schools here, Jordan Catholic Schools and Alleman High School, deeply rooted in this community and forming students with strong values and strong ties to place. There are bright minds here in Rock Island, young people, educators, and professionals who need pathways to build their lives right here at home. Rock Island is supported by strong anchor institutions and employers. Companies like Modern Woodmen of America, Unity Point Health, Valley Construction, Royal Neighbors of America, Illinois Casualty Company, Crawford Company, Community Healthcare, Dalton Transfer, Bally's Casino, Ag Solutions, and many more. Do you know that Rock Island company IMEG helped engineer the ball drop for the New Year's Eve celebration in New York City, Times Square? How cool is that, folks? The institutions have stayed, they have invested, they have anchored this city, some through decades of transition, and brought our economy through rough times. Rock Island is alive with arts and culture, with Circle 21, the Center for Living Arts, Quad City Arts, Young Lions Roar, Narratives Cav, Rostaz, Ragged Records, Augustana's Bruner Theater. We can entertain you here, folks. You can come to Rock Island and have a very good time. We even have a cool secondhand scene with Skeleton Key, Fred and Ethel's, and Jackson's Antiques and more. We have powerful community events here. We have the Chalk Fest, Soul of the City, 4th of July celebrations, polyrhythms, outdoor music, Rock Island Grand Prix, Arts Alley, and many, many more. These aren't extras. They're the connective tissue of civic life. You can tell a lot about a city to where people gather, and Rock Island gathers. We find people at the farmer's market buying organic products. We find parents and kids at Douglas Park playing soccer or flag football. Adults enjoying cocktails at Hallberg Civic Center, folks listening to music at Schweber Park, or enjoying a play performance at Lincoln Park. You can also tell a lot about a city by its food. Rock Island's food scene reflects its diversity, its work ethic, and its openness. From Soy 2 to Huckleberries, Author's Deli, Author's Garden Deli to Al's Burgers, QC Pancake House to La Flama, Pee Wee's to Pizza and Sub, and so many more. We are thrilled that Jack Edwards is reviving Ribco and Flip's Pancake House is thriving on 18th Avenue. These businesses take risks. They hire locally, they invest locally. They're daily acts of faith in this city. Rock Island is held together by nonprofits and community organizations who refuse to let people fall through the cracks. Project Now, Nest Cafe, The Third Place, Heart of Hope Ministries, Christian Care, the YWCA, and many others. And when the city needed it, when people needed it, the community showed up at the Martin Luther King Jr. Center for a 60-hour emergency shelter for our unhoused neighbors and friends. That moment told the truth about who we are. We're very excited about our partnership between Skip Along and Friendship Manor, which will bring a new 32,000 square foot learning center to Rock Island. incorporating intergenerational education and programming, one of a handful of such centers across the country. Thank you, Skip Along. Rock Island is a city of love. We are a city of churches and houses of worship and have strong faith community representing all sorts of religions and denominations. Our faith leaders wrap their arms and love around this city, and we are blessed by their commitment to community. They fill the city with nutrition, warmth, comfort, and spiritual substance. Our public safety officers, our firemen, our women, our police officers keep us safe and serve our residents every day, literally running into burning buildings on our behalf. That's commitment to community, not to be taken lightly. We have a group of Rock Islanders so committed to this place, they have created Friends of organizations. We have Friends of Douglas Park, Friends of Longview Park, Friends of Hallberg Civic Center. Commitment that has saved historic and precious landmarks from oblivion through love and attention, protecting the history that I believe is part of Rock Island's saving grace. I'm just waiting on former Mayor Mike Tomes and his boating friends to start a Friends of Sunset Marina. You know, help us out a little bit. I'm just playing, but seriously though, we can arrange everything. While there's so much to celebrate in our city, I'm also here today to keep it real with you. We have challenges afoot and on the horizon. My commitment to community means telling the truth when things are hard. Our population has been stagnant for decades. The cost of providing services continues to rise. Property taxes are way, way too high. We're facing deep financial responsibilities to our pension and general bonds. Residents are frustrated with the quality of our roads. We want higher achievement in our schools. We want more businesses, more amenities, better housing, more economic opportunity. And believe all of it, it's a reality we cannot ignore. 1 in 5 Rock Islanders are living in poverty, a higher rate than any city in my region. That's unacceptable, folks. This is Rock Island's reality. Today, we cannot confront our challenges and figure out growth that doesn't leave anyone behind. Today, we can confront our challenges. We've reviewed our history. We've celebrated our strengths. We've named our challenges. We've taken a good and honest look at who we are and where we go. Now comes action. Commitment to community is not a slogan. It's a discipline. It's a courage. It's restraint when restraint is required. And it's imagination when boldness is needed. I'm going to lay out my vision for recovery and growth. I see my city council squirming over there. They don't know what I'm about to say. They don't know. But, you know, I keep telling them, you know, this is my come out party. This is it right here before everybody's eyes. You know, I've been learning, I've been listening, I've been taking it all in, only inserting myself on key issues. But today you're going to hear Mayor Ashley Harris' plans for Rock Island. And I want to clean this up quickly. When I say my plans, it's really your plans. I see my role in this bringing the vision of Rock Island to life. You entrusted an Army veteran, a union guy, factory guy, to lead this city. You took a risk on me because you wanted something different. So I'm just going to lay it out here. What I hope to accomplish in the time I have the honor of serving you, I'm going to go over a few of my main focus areas for getting Rock Island back on track. Fiscal responsibility. Rock Island's survival since the 80s have depended on doing a lot with a little. We must keep the size and the scope of our government aligned with the reality of our revenue. We're dipping into reserves to balance our budget on the heels of an infusion of cash from the American Rescue Plan. We've benefited from ARPA funds, important temporary support, but those dollars are effectively gone. We now face a few major financial constraints here in the city. Underfunded police and fire pensions, the Watchtower bond, the police station bond. There's not a lot of extra play to play around with. Fiscal discipline is not a punishment. It's care. Customer service. Every interaction with the city of Rock Island should reflect excellent customer service. No matter who you are, no matter where you live, our city staff, while will offer transparency, helpfulness, and accountability, this is the baseline. We serve the people who pay our salaries, and when they reach out, they should feel valued, listened to, assisted to the best of our abilities, myself included. There was a time that residents knew city staff by name, could stop by City Hall to ask questions or get documents to help them stay organized in their neighborhoods. We've lost some of that spirit, and we need to get it back. I will be working towards that end and modeling the openness myself. Perception and image of our beloved city. If you live in Rock Island, you've heard it outlined, you've heard it online and in conversations in other towns. Oh, you don't want to live in Rock Island? For decades, Rock Island leaders have learned about how do we change that image, the perception of Rock Island. I want to be very clear. I care less about what people outside of Rock Island think and more so about the ones who live here and work here, what we believe. Far too long, leadership has struggled with its own bias and limited estimation of people who live here. The people in charge who want to change the perception of some unknown person are wrestling with their own ideas of what it's meant to be poor, to be an immigrant, to be unimportant, to be from a culture different from your own. This has constrained our growth. If you work for Rock Island, you must believe in Rock Islanders, every one of them, whether they have a roof over their head or not, whether they have $1 million in the bank or $1.80. Let's worry about how we can root for one another, how we can believe in one another first. And once we get that down, then we can care about what folks on the outside think. I think it will be helpful. I think this will be helped by a return to folks who work for the city, living in the city. I'm not saying this would happen overnight, but I do believe returning to fundamental principles that we all need to be part of this community together. Cities recover when people making decisions live here, walk the same streets, send their kids to the same schools, and share the same future. So yes, we want to return to a norm to where people who work in Rock Island live in Rock Island. Across departments, across institutions, and across sectors. This is not about exclusion, it's about investment. Economic development is not transactional, it's relational. It grows where belief is practiced, not just stated. Building human infrastructure. I celebrate our downtown. I look forward to building a beautiful, vibrant, alive landscape for folks to enjoy year-round in Rock Island. Jack Cullen and the ambassadors, as part of the Downtown Alliance, are doing amazing work. And speaking of that, are they in the room? I know the ambassadors are in the room. Yeah, give them a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. And we can give ourselves a facelift, but while our internal organs are failing, the facelift won't even matter. You must invest in people, not just buildings. At times, it feels like the work of our government has been to manage physical space, to keep track of vacant buildings and plots of land, and to envision what space and new buildings might go. We want to see more property taxes, a way to reduce the burden on our taxpayers. I get that all day long. It's important, and I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit. And we have all the buildings and new stores and restaurants and activities in the world in Rock Island. If our people aren't economically and physically and spiritually healthy, we cannot have We cannot have the consumers, neighbors, friends, and folks to fill those restaurants and to partake in those activities, to buy new homes, to lay down roots here. I want Rock Island to be a place to where people can come when they need affordability, to be loved, encouraged, and supported, and upward mobility. I want poverty to be a cloud in the sky that passes by the day instead of a lifelong storm. So how do we do that? We keep education, healthcare, affordable housing, job opportunity, clean and safe neighborhoods, parks and green spaces. We make the focus on these issues as much as we do the buildings. Some ideas that support this investment. Ideas. Attracting young physicians who may have grown up in Rock Island to return and open an OBGYN practice to take care of mothers or pediatrician's office to care for children. We could use funds to assist that person in reducing their student loan burden. We could use community development block grant funds to set up match savings accounts for folks in public housing to assist them in moving forward in education and home ownership. We could have an emergency fund for our residents to assist with the challenging water bills and fees. Ain't that the truth? Yeah, the truth. We need to listen to the recommendations of our Citizens Advisory Council and fundamentally reinvigorate our use of community development block grant funds, perhaps modeling the success of the West End revitalization community, how they approach the community. Housing and accountability. Rock Island is not a place to park properties and let them rot. We will pursue policies that discourage speculative ownership. If you have a vacant building, you should be on our register, which I thank the city staff for creating. Every 6 months that building sits empty, your fees should increase. I want my staff to be actively researching how to address the lack of care and concern for Rock Island that some property owners show. We will hold landlords accountable for safe, healthy living conditions. If you step up to the responsibility to provide housing for humans, you must take that responsibility seriously. And we will help tenants understand laws on how to be good tenants as well. I want to be very clear on this issue. Being homeless is not a crime. Being poor is not an economic condition, not the entire definition of a person's life. And myself and my council, we are responsible for addressing and reducing poverty in our city. The solution is not to make poor people leave. It's to build a city where poverty is temporary and upward mobility is possible. I'm committed to supporting our small businesses and downtown residents to manage challenges that come with the unhoused population. To keep it real with you. And we need to be doing more, also to keep it real with you. Housing requires a regional approach, and Rock Island needs its own housing group focused on the issues here in Rock Island and the solutions here in Rock Island. We have strong community partners in the city of Moline, and I feel hopeful that we can work collaboratively with Moline, East Moline, and our friends across the river on solutions for our region. Whatever emerges will be a partnership between municipalities, nonprofits, private residents, and business. Economic development. I'm going to follow back on this. For decades, small post-industrial cities like ours were told that growth would come if we just landed the right deal, attracted the right outside investor, or waited for the next big employer to save us. That model has not worked. What has worked, again and again across the Midwest, is something quieter, more disciplined, and more rooted. It's not one thing. It's a few things moving at the same time. And that's how we're going to approach economic development in Rock Island. Growing what's already here. In cities that have recovered, leaders stop treating existing businesses as background noise and started treating them as the foundation. Because here's the truth. If someone already opened a business in Rock Island, they already believe in this place. Our job is to protect that belief and not exhaust it. Our job. So we're shifting our posture, Rock Island. The city of Rock Island will be predictable instead of muddy, responsive instead of slow, supportive instead of sticky, consistent instead of confusing. This means working closely with business partners in placemaking efforts, supporting corridor-level growth where businesses already exist, and reinforcing neighborhood commercial districts that people actually use. It means building on momentum. The Downtown Alliance and public space activation, the Hilltop area and Augustana's long-term investment, the Blackhawk Road corridor as a community serving spine, and the West End, where meaningful revitalization is underway because residents are being trusted as experts in their own neighborhoods. It means picking up the phone and saying, tell me what's going on. How can we help you be successful today? And then using our economic tools at our disposal to provide real support. Whether that's a readily available list of Rock Island businesses for Rock Islanders to prioritize, a microloan, a TIF district incentive, utilizing historic tax credits, enterprise or Rivers Edge zone incentives, benefits of our Newport district, or promotion through our marketing avenues. What we've learned from cities that succeed is this. You don't start with a blank slate. You start with what's alive, and then you help it scale. Human capability as a growth strategy. This is where modern economic development has changed the most and where Rock Island has enormous untapped potential. Cities that grow today do not do it by chasing employers alone. They do it by building talent pipelines and reducing friction between education, training, and local work. In other words, they invest in people. Rock Island is well positioned to do this. We have strong public and private schools, a growing healthcare education pipeline, nonprofits doing workforce support, employers who want reliable local talent, an exceptional local union footprint. All the union guys, round of applause for the union guys. And let me tell you something about building that pipeline. Let me tell you about something about Rock Island that I didn't know, speaking specifically to our union guys. The city of Rock Island, we have over 10 physical brick and mortar local unions here. That's amazing. That's something that would behoove us to build off of. So you can expect a much stronger relationship between our union, our schools, and the city. You can expect that. This is about intentional coordination. That means internships and paid work experiences for high school and college students, job shadowing, early exposure to local careers, clear pathways from education into Rock Island jobs, incentives for hiring Rock Islanders and keeping talent here. Being welcoming is economic development. We're asking our businesses, nonprofits, and leaders to welcome our young people into the workforce. Cities that stabilize and grow understand that immigrants and newcomers are not a side issue. They are an engine of entrepreneurship, labor force renewal, and cultural vitality. Human capability is not a social program or an afterthought for community funds. Building the capacity of our people is our core economic infrastructure. That's very important. Building the platform and then getting out of the way. How the city behaves. Cities that succeed stop trying to pre-plan their economy and instead focus on building a strong platform that allows ideas to emerge. That means clarity, consistency, fairness. We need a single clear entry point of economic development. One front door, one playbook, one standard. So whether you're a long-standing business or a first-time entrepreneur, you know where to start, what the rules are, and how decisions are made. We will use CDBG funds and public dollars strategically, prioritizing projects that create jobs for Rock Islanders, activate unused spaces, and strengthen neighborhoods. And just as important, we're making room for ideas that are organic, not pre-designed by the city. Small cities that recover do not script innovation. They use the tools actively. We have to strike while the iron is hot. We are in a port district. We are in an enterprise zone. We are a river's edge zone. That's synergy. We cannot get after this. We need to get after this momentum. We need to create conditions where innovation can happen. Successful cities leverage private, public, and nonprofit partnerships to spur creativity. Placemaking, cultivating something unique and special, but it has to come from the ground up. Bringing back neighborhoods. Those of you who lived in Rock Island for more than a decade will remember how critical neighborhood associations were to the success of Rock Island. Whatever is the knowledgeable neighborhood, or the community caring conference, managing block clubs. Our city was strengthened by years of having organized, engaged, and feisty neighborhoods and community groups that mixed it up with the city. I want to bring that back with a vengeance. We can count on the leadership and experience of the Community Caring Conference to help us get this up and running. So I look forward to speaking with them as well. The Magnificent 10. I guess I can go off the cuff with this, but I'm gonna go off the cuff with this. Okay. This, to me, is the most important goal that I hope to achieve in my upcoming year, the formation of the Magnificent 10. We're going to create a task force of Rock Islanders who have the time and passion to be magnificent for our city. We're going to tap into the ideas, energy, resources, and creativity that we have right here at home to move the city forward. They will come up with creative ideas, reach out to potential business partners, act as living billboards for Rock Island, and keep me tied into the fabrics of our issues. Qualifications for this will not come from an extensive resume. The qualifications for this are the people who have the time and the passion to be magnificent. You need time to be magnificent. And this task force is going to keep me informed of what's working, what's challenges we're facing, and how to keep focus on bringing the people's vision to the city. I want an engaged city. I want people mixing it up and arguing and making up and pushing the city for transparency and better services and demanding to understand what myself and other elected officials are up to, what we're thinking, why we did that. Something that we don't run from. Public comments, we don't run from that. Facebook comment sections, we don't run from that. Letters from any other entity or form of government, we don't run from that. Myself and the council members, we are standing together through a lot of adversity, through a lot of relaying the message from constituents and reflecting that in decisions. So I want to give the council members another round of applause, and just to let you know, I have your guys' back 10 toes down, and I love you guys as well. This is Rock Island, the future. A place where young families can afford to live. A place where upmobility is the norm, not the exception. A place where new industries emerge, rooted in social science, human capability, and care. A place where residents engineer sustainable neighborhoods, local food systems, clean energy. Rock Island has been a part of every chapter of American history. We can be confident we will be at the forefronts again. if we stay committed to Rock Island, but more importantly, if we stay committed to one another. Let me take a moment to go over this task force again. The reason for the task force, it's multiple reasons. One, it is tapping into the time and the talents of our residents here. Two, it's allowing us to have economic development conversations, allowing the city to move forward, getting the right minds in the right places to make the right decisions and have the right movements on the ground. I call on the task force to volunteer their time because for an effort like that, which is very much so needed here in the city of Rock Island, we cannot afford to take on 5 or 10 extra people in the economic development department. But that will not stop us from moving forward. That will not stop us at all. So this Magnificent 10, it will serve as that. It will serve as a task force for economic development. You will have the full support and resources from the mayor's office. And we look forward to forming this. And we're looking for people who just have the passion and the time to be magnificent. Rock Island has several issues, and we need manpower on those issues. So this is a creative way to achieve that goal. So I look forward to, forming this task force. Another thing that I want to bring up, the Purple Unit. What the Purple Unit is, and I talked to Chief McLeod about this, we've had a few conversations about this. What the Purple Unit will be, it's a special police force that will be here in the city of Rock Island. Right now it's not possible because we're still greatly understaffed on the police force. We're down a little over 10 officers, and for another plug, we're recruiting. So if you know any individuals, any young people, any young adults who would like to be on the police force, please send them our way. We need them. The community needs them, which will be another form of commitment to community. But back to the Purple Unit. The purpose of the Purple Unit, once properly staffed, is to have 3 or 4 officers out there on our streets. And what sets them apart would be the purple uniforms that they wear. The difference is they're not there for typical policing. They're there to serve the community. They're there to help you. So when you see that Purple Unit officer coming up, you'll know why he's there. You know he's there to help you, to serve you. One thing that will do is it will build more trust between community and police. It will take off the burden that Chief faces right now on getting new recruits in. It'll lighten up that connotation. And plus, I think it'll be very big for Rock Island to do that because the climate for law enforcement here nationally, it's polarizing. And this will be a step in the opposite direction. So I look forward to speaking more about that as well. I will take about 5 minutes to go over a few highlights. Our staff, our department heads, they took time to put some slides together, and I'm going to take my last 5 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes or so, to go over those slides. I'm sure that you guys have been looking at slides right now, but I just want to commentate over them a little bit. I don't know where we are in the slide section, but okay. Oh, yeah. So, yes, this is the big deal. We got 5 new firefighters that were hired in 2025. Firefighters clocked more than 20,000 hours of training. Incident, over 9,200 calls for service in 2025. That's a lot. I want to thank them guys. I know we gave recognition last month to the fire department, a couple of individuals on the force, and the chief was up there introducing them and reading off a few things that they did. And what the chief was reading, it sounded like a horror movie. Burning buildings and this coming down and smoke everywhere. And then he was talking about people from Rock Island that are running into those buildings. It sounded like a horror story. So I wanna thank those guys for the tireless effort that they put in and risking their lives for us every day. I wanna thank our fire department. Yes, please take a look at our video.
So I'm a fourth generation fireman. My great-grandfather, my grandfather, and my uncles are all firefighters.
It's a very rewarding job, but it's a very tough job.
I think Rock Island Fire Department has one of the best cultures around. We have a really nice, tight-knit group of guys that work together, and we will send you to school, and we will pay for your paramedic school.
One lesson that I've learned is you have to become comfortable being uncomfortable.
I love coming to work every day. I love the saying too, if you find something that you love, then you never work a day in your life.
If you're looking for a fast-paced work environment, the Rock Island Fire Department is the place for you.
I enjoy pushing myself, and I feel like this job is very physical and demanding and challenging.
I saw they were hiring. I kind of just put my application out there and got a call up.
We're on the Mississippi River, made up of cities between Iowa and Illinois.
It's just a big family, so it's something I wanted to join. We do have good benefits.
Oh, and this is a picture. This is a picture of our downtown pop-up shop. This is located in Arts Alley. You know, that gives businesses, the pop-up shops we have down there, it gives businesses an opportunity to test the market. You may want to promote a little bit. You may want to come out and give some samples, but it gives a space for businesses to come in downtown Rock Island. So we look forward to that. This, oh yeah. I gave recognition to the guys. Okay. Yep. Oh, yes, and right here, this is a pictures of our block club letter competition. Sarah Hayden, she drugged me down to the block letters, and she said, "Hey, Ashley, we have to promote people taking a picture." So she said, "Hey, get up there." She made a little video of me. She said, "Hey, get up there, jump, click your heels, do something silly," and From that, these are the applicants that people entered the competition. We got first number one up there. We got a couple that had a rock and roll session with their baby. Yeah, and also in second place, I think it was the two residents over there fighting Godzilla, right? And I believe that the picture on the lower right, I know that looks like me, but that's not me, folks. That's not me. That is a gentleman and a young man from Big Brothers, thank you. And honorable mention, the young lady with the lip shirt, her name is Nicole Paney, and we appreciate her style and grace. Yes. That was actually one of my favorite pictures, actually. Oh, yeah. And it was very hot that day, too. Very hot that day. Speaking of that, putting those slides together, running our social media page, staying in the loop with media and reporters, organizing this event, helping me prepare for this event. I want to give a special thanks to city employee Sarah Hayden. Where are you at, Sarah? Okay. This could not have been done without the tireless work of Sarah Hayden, so I want to thank her for that. Yes, and this is one of two murals outside of Skeleton Manor. I'm going to get the slides, so I'm actually reading the proper information, because that's a beautiful piece of work right there. That is an area view of Arts Alley. That was during our alternating currents session last year. And yes, another beautiful picture of the vibrant downtown, right outside of our block letters there, Second Saturdays on 2nd Avenue. This is just a picture of the many things that our downtown can be used for. Yep. And also some more highlights. I went over the highlights for the Rock Island School District, but like I said, I will say, I will close with the school district. I'll close there. I will say that that when you run a business, when you run a corporation, naturally you don't want any overlap. Naturally, you want to run as efficient as possible. However, when it comes to community, when it comes to committing to community, it's going to be overlap. Our public safety, we just don't rely on our police department to protect us. We want overlap. With our school district, it's just not up to our teachers to teach our kids. We need overlap. And that's commitment to community. I bring the school district up because I have confidence in their leadership. I have confidence in those students. I look forward to the programs. I look forward to the learning and the investment growing and improving. I look forward to that. One thing about the school system, as well as our hospitals, as well as our safe neighborhoods, that is our social infrastructure. And our social infrastructure will have commitment, and there will be overlap. Okay, this is the opening of, help me out, Sarah, hold on. This is the opening of the new golf simulation at Sauckie Golf Course. We had a wonderful ribbon cutting up there. The other picture, out of our 21 parks and 2 golf courses, 1 public swimming pool, Whitewater Junction, and our fitness center. This is giving a shout out to our Parks and Recs department. They do a ton of work. So the picture to the bottom left, we are actually, it was an honorary celebration, the refurbishment of the tennis and basketball courts at Mel McKay Park. This was made possible by a grant from the United States Tennis Association in honor of Rock Island's own Madison Keys, winner of the 2025 Australian Open Tennis Tournament. Pictures from our public library. We want to thank the staff for down there. They do great work. One thing about the public library is they have been reinventing themselves over and over again over the years. And I appreciate that creativity. They really are a pillar here in the community. And I appreciate our Rock Island Library. Yeah, and a big shout out. That was a video that they put together. And now, we have a big shout out to our King Center. I can't thank them enough. I can't give them enough praise. That is their 50th anniversary celebration. There is a picture of their staff, their director. To the top left right there, that's Minnie Jean Brown Trickey. She's a member of the Little Rock Nine, and she graced our presence last year at the MLK celebration. So we can, and Miss Bonnie Ballard, Soul of the City Activities. I want to give, like I said, I want to give a special thanks to the King Center because they come through in more ways than one. And they have been going round and round, up and down, with the community and with the city of Rock Island for a long time now. So I want to thank them for staying on the ride with us, for still trying to adapt and still trying to serve a certain demographic in a certain area for the last 50 years. So special thanks to Jerry Jones and the team. Special thanks to the Downtown Alliance. I'll give y'all another shout out. But the West End Revitalization Project, that is something that we want. Okay, public safety. We had a reduction in burglaries, narcotic offenses, and stolen vehicles, which is a big deal. Man, cars were getting stolen left and right across the nation. And Rock Island, under the leadership of Chief McLeod, we have brought that number down. So I'm very, very, very proud and very happy about that. Thank you, Chief. Thanks for the guys on the force. Yep, these are pictures of our few celebrations. We had the Million Father March. We had Kick It with the Cop, and then that's a picture of Officer Spencer Brooks getting his award, and another picture of Brianna Longren. Give the police force a round of applause, please.
Working here at the Rock Island Police Department is like one big family.
When I first started, everybody was very welcoming, and they made it feel like I belonged here.
You have a great retirement plan. You have the benefit of healthcare and opportunity to pursue into other units.
One of the biggest benefits was the opportunity for growth. I've always wanted to go in some type of investigative work, and they offer opportunities to be a detective.
For someone considering this career, I would say as tough as it may seem, it can also be very rewarding.
If you have the heart for it, then I believe this is the place for you.
Very good, very good, very good. So, yeah, I'm going to take 2 more minutes to speak with you guys, and then we're going to get up out of here, and we're going to go enjoy our day. But for my last 2 minutes, I'm going to let you know that I realize our challenges. I realize that. I realize where we are now and what it's going to take to move forward. Not saying that past leaders or past circumstances or past situations caused us to be right here. All I know is we're right here, right now, and we want to get better. We owe it to our residents. We have property taxes going up. We have water bills that are, out of control. We have a lot of things going on. Our roads need to be fixed. We're fighting a 3-headed monster financially, and we're doing everything we can to turn this thing around, Rock Island. So I just want to leave you with that. Just to let you know, you have a very strong council on the job, and I'm going to do better in working with them. I'm going to do better in bringing even more transparency to you. That is my commitment to community. It is my job to get along with our council, to make sure everything is running smoothly, and I owe you guys that. This is bigger than me, this is bigger than them, but it's not bigger than us. So I just want to thank you, Rock Island. Thank you. Thank you.